So good morning everyone. Today we are here to discuss about the classical ideal gas as an example for canonical ensemble case. Similar case we are also discussed in the case of micro canonical ensemble case. Okay, where we have taken classical ideal gas and we try to find out that the fundamental volume omega 0 equal to h raised to 3n. Okay, and similarly we'll do in a canonical ensemble theory. How do we explain and how do we identify the corresponding energy states and the partition function and the thermodynamic relation corresponding to a classical ideal gas will be discussed here. Okay, so whenever we will be discussing about the classical ideal gas, what we need to know is when we discuss about canonical ensemble, we basically need to know about the partition function. Okay, so partition function is the total energy states of a different energy condition and energy levels. Okay, so whenever in order to address a canonical ideal gas, first we need to know what is the partition function associated with that. Okay, once you get the partition function, that is the partition function we represent as q and vt. So once you get the partition function, then we can do the different thermodynamic relation from that partition function. Okay, from the last class we have done how do we identify from a given partition function, how can we identify different thermodynamic relations that we identified in the last class. Okay, now let me come back to in this case we know that the partition function we usually represent it as like this, that is q n vt is equal to vt is equal to what, is equal to it is sigma r e raised to minus beta er. Okay, this is how we normally represent our uh, partition function corresponding to any case. Now let me just replace this summation by integral, so that I'll be taking integral or e raised to minus beta er d omega by h raised to 3n, where d omega we know it is a phase space volume. Okay, so that is we have discussed in the earlier sections as well. So this is actually our phase space volume, and we know that h raised to 3n, what is h raised to 3n, that is omega 0 equal to h raised to 3n, that is familiarized when we discussed about classical ideal gas in a case of microcanonical ensemble case. So the fundamental volume, so this is basically fundamental volume, so omega 0 equal to h raised to 3n. Okay, so it is fundamental volume means it is a volume of a single microstate. So it is a single microstate volume, that is fundamental volume. And now if I do d omega by h raised to 3n, that means it is the number of distinct state. Okay, number of distinct state. So what it means is that, so you're actually taking d omega by omega, that is phase space volume divided by the fundamental volume. So you'll be getting the number corresponding to that. So you'll be getting the corresponding number of distinct state. And now if you look into this partition function, you'll understand that e raised to minus beta er d omega by h raised to 3n, it is actually representing the each energy state corresponding to each microstate. And when you do the integral, then you are actually doing, you are extending that into the total volume or total number of energy state corresponding to each microstate is accumulated here. Okay, that's why you introduce a d omega by h raised to 3n means. Now let me just represent this is in another fashion, that is let me just take the h raised to 3n outside, then I'll be working on the integral e raised to minus beta er d omega like this. Okay, now we know what is d omega is. D omega is basically, it is what, it is actually d raised to 3n q, sorry, and it is dp raised to 3n. Okay, so that is we already understood. Now we know that by introducing when you consider with this partition function, okay, so there will be a Gibbs paradox will be arising. Okay, so Gibbs paradox will be arising, that means delta S is always greater than 0. Okay, so that is our big Gibbs paradox, because whenever you change the initial and uh, final state entropy value, then there will be a contradiction. That's why we Gibbs paradox we used to call. And we also know that in order to overcome this Gibbs paradox, we actually introduced n factorial in this case. Okay, so what I do here is that let me introduce a q and v of t in order to overcome this Gibbs paradox condition. So we introduce here n factorial 1 by n factorial h raised to 3n integral e raised to minus beta er dq raised to 3n and dp raised to 3n. Okay, this n factorial we introduced in order to overcome this Gibbs paradox situation. That is, you want to get this delta s should be equal to 0. Okay, for getting that, we said that Gibbs has also introduced a solution, that is by introducing by dividing with the n factorial. So that is what we have done here also. We introduced n factorial in this case. Now you just note this is our partition function corresponding to a classical ideal gas. Okay, classical ideal gas by considering as a canonical ensemble case. Okay, now let me consider here. So with that, let me consider we have a n identical particle. Okay, so we have n identical particles in a classical ideal gas situation, and they are monoatomic. Okay, so they are monoatomic, and since it's monoatomic, we'll have degree of freedom will be 1 corresponding to that, and we have fixed volume and temperature as well. So when you represent that, we can say that er, that energy corresponding to that, which is equal to the Hamiltonian, so which is equal to, let me just introduce I equal to 1 to n. Okay, so that is pi square divided by 2m is the corresponding energy representation. Okay, so here we are dealing with a monoatomic case. Okay, and let me say that the partition function then, so if I substitute this energy represented in the above partition function, so I'll be having 1 by n factorial h raised to 3n integral e raised to, here instead of beta er I have to give that minus integral I equal to 1 to n beta pi square by 2m. Okay, d raised to 3n p, sorry, okay, so dp raised to 3n, and let me just take the integral only for d raised to 3nq. Okay, so we know that what is integral d raised to 3nq, that is we already identified when we discussed about Hamiltonian case, sorry, in the classical ideal case situation, that is v raised to n. Okay, where d raised to 3nq means it is a volume of that specific position space. So we'll get that v raised to n. So if I substitute that into here, okay, so I'll be having v raised to n divided by n factorial h raised to 3n integral e raised to minus beta, sorry, so here by if I putting this beta pi square 2m, if I do represent in this fashion, so that is e raised to x1 plus x2 plus x3. Okay, so it is basically actually a summation, right? So that is I can represent that is e raised to x1 plus e raised to x2 plus e raised to x3 like this. And when you do that, sorry, it is not like that, because when I do that it is e raised to, okay, e raised to x1 into e raised to x2 into e raised to x3, that is equal to e raised to x1 x2 plus x3. And similarly here also you can see that p equal to what, pi, if you represent like this, so that is you can have p1 p2 up to pn will be there, or pi will be there. Okay, so in that way, if you represent this one, this is minus beta p1 square by 2m, okay, into e raised to minus beta p2 square by 2m, okay, into d raised to 3n, p will be there. Okay, now if I do the v raised to n divided by n factorial h raised to 3n, then we'll have e raised to minus beta p square, okay, okay, so once again, that is beta p square divided by 2m d raised to 3p raised to n, I can write. Okay, so if you have this representation x1 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 like that, p1 p1 p1, then actually you can write p1 raised to 4 like this, right? If you have x1 into x1 into x2, okay, so if that means you can write x1 raised to 4 like that, or x1 raised to 3. Okay, so in similar way we can also take p1 raised to 4 representation, and together so we can actually take p raised to n as the corresponding notation as well. Okay, now if I represent the momentum space here, okay, so if I represent the momentum, so let me just draw a picture corresponding to this, the momentum space volume, if you want to identify. So we'll have pz along this one, and we'll have px and py corresponding to this. And let me just draw a hypershell that we are represented earlier case. Okay, note that this center of this hypershell is origin. Okay, maybe I am not representing in that fashion, but you note that the center will be at the origin. Okay, so this is our area where we'll be having interested in. Okay, and when you want to consider this dp, you are actually considering dp over this particular volume. Okay, and where p is the radius to this one, so this is our p corresponding to that. Okay, and now if you want to consider dp raised to 3, okay, that is you want to consider the volume dp raised to 3, so that will be what, it is a surface area into thickness. Okay, like we have done in the same case in last class as well, that is about classical ideal gas situation in microcanonical ensemble also. So here it is 4 pi p square, because it is radius is p. Okay, so radius is p, so 4 pi p square dp is the thickness of this hypershell interval. Okay, so this is thickness is represented as dp, and surface area is 4 p square dp. Okay, so this is my volume corresponding to that when you consider in a momentum space volume. Okay, so let me just go back to here. Okay, now the qn of vt is equal to v raised to n divided by h raised to 3 and n factorial, okay, into integral e raised to minus beta p square by 2m into the volume dqp, I can represent as 4 pi p square dp raised to n. Okay, and now this is equal to p raised to n divided by h raised to 3 and n factorial. So I can take 4 pi e raised to minus beta p square 2m p square dp. Okay, for pi I just take outside the integral, so since it's a constant, so raised to n will be there. Okay, so now let me just say the limit of the integral. So it will be from 0 to infinity, because the energy variation for a microcanonical ensemble, it is actually from 0 to infinity. So we can say that it is 0 to infinity is the corresponding range of the limit. Okay, now let me just say what is 0 to infinity. 0 to infinity e raised to minus beta p square by 2m p square dp. Okay, what it is. Okay, for that we know that which we can represent in this fashion, that is we have a generalized equation corresponding to this, that is when you have an exponential function in this fashion. So let me just write that in. Okay, so whenever you have a exponential function like this, that is you have function 0 to infinity e raised to minus alpha y square, okay, y square dy. So it's a general representation. So the corresponding solution will be 1 by 4 pi by lambda raised to 3 raised to 1 by 2. Okay, where in this situation we know that lambda equal to, when you consider in this case, so here we know that the lambda is equal to what? It is beta by 2m, and we know that beta is 1 by kt. So from that 2m kt I can represent. Okay, hope you clear. And now I can represent this function by using this generalized representation. So if I do that, so I'll have the corresponding equation will be, okay, so this will be equal to, okay, so now I can replace this question mark like here. So it is 0 to infinity e raised to minus beta p square 2m p square dp. So I can write it as 1 by 4 pi by 1 by 2m kt, 2m kt, okay, kt cube raised to 1 by 2. Okay, so this is how it will come. Okay, now if I do represent this is like this, that is 1 by 4 pi raised to 1 by 2 2m kt. Okay, so if I just take this to upside, so I'll have 3 by 2. Okay, so this is how I'll be getting corresponding. Then my partition function q n v of t is equal to v raised to n h raised to 3n n factorial. Okay, and now if I substitute that into the above equation, that is 4 pi into, this is 1 by 4 pi raised to 1 by 2 2m kt raised to 3 by 2. Okay, okay, so this is my 0 to infinity e raised to minus beta p square by 2m p square dp, like p square dp. Okay, now this is equal to, this 4 and 4 and get cancelled. Okay, and we'll have pi raised to 1 and pi raised to 1 by 2, and this I can take into the bracket, so that q n v of t, okay, so that is we'll be having v raised to n h raised to 3n n factorial, okay, 2 pi m kt. So this pi we can take into the bracket, so that is 3 by 2 n will be there. Okay, so this n also. Okay, Now we know by this representation we'll actually get the partition function corresponding to that. Q1 of Vt is equal to 1 by n factorial 1 by n factorial. If I take V by h cube into the bracket, so I can represent V by h cube, okay, 2 pi m kt raised to 3 by 2 whole raised to n will come. Okay, so this is for our partition function corresponding to a classical ideal gas which is monoatomic and which are having identical particle corresponding to that and which has a fixed volume and temperature case. Okay, now if you consider if the n equal to for monoatomic case, okay, so n equal to 1, okay, then we'll have q1 v of t, q1 v of t. So if for a single particle, that is v by h cube, so it is v by h cube 2 pi m kt raised to 3 by 2. Okay, now I can represent this above function. For example, if I do represent, if I want to consider qn of vt for n cases, that is q1, so this is I can represent as q1 of vt, q1 of vt raised to n divided by n factorial. Okay, so this fashion I could represent the above equation. So here we got for a single particle the corresponding partition function we got q1 v of t equal to v by h cube 2 pi m kt raised to 3 by 2. So when you substitute that into the above equation, okay, so in the above equation, then you will be getting actually what you will be getting. You will be gonna get that is q1 v of t raised to n divided by n factorial. So if you are supposed to find the n factorial particle for n number of particle partition function, you want to actually calculate for a single particle what is the partition function corresponding to that, then you can take the value raised to n divided by n factorial. Okay, so this is how the partition function for a non-interacting, for a classical ideal gas situation we said that it is a non-interacting case. Okay, so for a non-interacting monoatomic ideal gas situation, the corresponding partition functions will be qn v of t equal to q1 of v of t raised to n divided by n factorial. Okay, so this is the representation we have now. Now what we are finding is that we will be addressing different thermodynamic relations corresponding to this. Okay, so once you get partition function, you can actually find the corresponding thermodynamic relations. Okay, so we'll find out the thermodynamic parameters associated with this partition function. Also what we are having is qn of v of t is equal to what? It is 1 by n factorial v by h raised to 3 2 pi m kt raised to 3 by 2. Okay, so this is the representation we'll have. And now we know that for thermodynamic parameter, first we will be taking into consideration that is about Helmholtz energy. Okay, Helmholtz energy. So the first parameter we are gonna find is it is about Helmholtz energy. For Helmholtz energy, we already identified that whenever you have a partition function, the Helmholtz energy directly can be identified from the Helmholtz partition function by taking A equal to minus kT into ln Qn of Vt, where K is the Boltzmann constant, Qn is the partition function, T is the temperature, that is a constant in this canonical ensemble case. Okay, that we know. And now if I do that minus kT ln, we can substitute our Qn of Vt. So that is 1 by n factorial v by h cube, left, v by h cube 2 pi m kt raised to 3 by 2 raised to n. Okay, so this is our representation. And now we know that when you have when you taking the factorial representation of a logarithmic value, this is first I can write like this, that is minus kt. So the logarithmic I can separate out ln of v by h cube 2 pi m kt raised to 3 by 2 minus ln n factorial. So in this fashion I can write first of all this one. Okay, so here one more term will be, that is raised to n. Okay, so that is minus kt into, so this I can, when you are taking the logarithmic, this I can represent n ln of v by h cube 2 pi m kt raised to 3 by 2. Okay, minus, we said that ln n factorial, so for that we have a notation, that is this I can expand as n ln n plus n. Okay, so we have represented by Stirling theorem, I think. So by Stirling theorem, ln n factorial can be expanded in this fashion. So this minus into minus will be there, that's why we represent minus n here. Okay, so that is equal to, so this I can represent as okay, so here also it will be like this. So minus kt, so minus kt I can represent as, because n is there in all the term, so I can represent minus n kt into ln v by h cube 2 pi m kt raised to 3 by 2. Okay, minus ln n plus 1 will be there when you take n outside from the case. Okay, now if I do proceed with this one, so I can write these two together, so that is minus nkt. So if I do this together, ln of n h cube divided by v 1 by minus, okay, so what I have done is that I have just multiplied with the minus n minus, so that this minus won't be there, so this becomes like this, minus ln nh cube, okay, v 1 by, okay, this will be like this, 2 pi m kt, okay, kt raised to 3 by 2, okay, minus 1 will be there. Okay, so what I have done is that I have just taken this minus 2 inside, so that's minus ln v by h cube 2 pi m kt raised to 3 by 2 plus ln n will be there, so that I have to take ln n minus this term, so that, so this will be in this fashion, so you have to take inverse of this one will be, because this will be coming in the denominator then, so we have to represent in this fashion. Okay, now let me just say that now on the next step I can do, this is nkt, so this I can represent ln n by v h square divided by 2 pi m kt. So that what I have done, h cube I just take to the inside, then I keep the 3 by 2 raised to all, because h square into 3 by 2 means that is h cube itself. Okay, so I can write in this fashion as well. Okay, so minus 1 will be there. Okay, So this will be our Helmholtz energy representation corresponding to this case. Okay, A equal to, okay, A equal to NKT ln n by n by V. Okay, now if I reduce this representation by like lambda equal to, let me introduce h square by 2 pi m kt. Okay, 2 pi m kt raised to 1 by 2. Okay, 1 by 2. So this is our mean thermal wavelength. Okay, thermal wavelength. Now if I substitute lambda into the above equation, our Helmholtz energy becomes A equal to nkt, okay, ln n by V lambda raised to 3, okay, minus 1. Hello, hello. Who's this? From where? Tell me. I'll check it and do. Okay. Right now. I'll check it and say. Teams. Okay. So we do represent the Helmholtz energy by using okay. We'll do represent the Helmholtz energy in terms of our mean thermal wavelength representation, where lambda equal to h square by 2 pi m kt raised to 1 by 2. So that is the mean thermal wavelength corresponding to that. And now with this representation 1 by n ln n by v lambda cube minus 1 representation. Okay, so from that I can find it out the different values of thermodynamic parameters, and we know that we can represent pressure equal to minus dou A by dou V. Okay, so at a constant temperature and number of particle, and we can also find the chemical potential representation, that is dou A by dou N at a constant temperature and volume. And now we'll have the entropy notation, that is minus dou A by dou T, okay, raised to at a constant volume and number of particle. So from first one we'll address about pressure. Okay, pressure P equal to minus dou A by dou V, okay, at a constant temperature and number of particle. So that we know that when you do represent minus nkt, you have to take dou by dou V of what? Dou V of ln n by V lambda cube, okay, minus 1. Okay, now if you do so, then you will be getting minus nkt 1 by n lambda cube divided by V will come, okay, because we are taking the derivative of the logarithmic there. Then we'll have to do n lambda cube into minus 1 by V square. Okay, so this is how when you do differentiating on ln n by V lambda cube will be. Okay, we know that when you are differentiating with respect to minus 1, that will be 0. Okay, so that doesn't matter. So here n lambda cube and n lambda cube I can get cancelled. So what I will be getting is that P will be equal to nkt by, okay, nkt by V. Okay, this V and V square will be there, so this also get cancelled. So from that what remain is the nkt by V will be there. So that is I'll be getting for a classical ideal gas situation. So I'll be getting, so this is implies what, PV equal to nkt, where K is the Boltzmann constant, N is the number of particles, T is the temperature, P is the pressure, and V is the volume corresponding to that. So this is how we will be having the notation corresponding to that. And from this we'll got a pressure as well. Okay, so that part is okay. Pressure we identified as nkt divided by V. And now in order to find chemical potential, okay, next I am moving to address chemical potential case. So that is mu equal to, okay, so that is mu equal to dou A by dou N at a constant temperature and volume. Okay, that is mu equal to, if I do represent nkt, dou by dou N of ln N by V lambda q minus 1. Okay, so since we do that, so we have to have two representation, because we are with respect to N you are evaluating, so you have to consider two terms here, that is ln by V lambda q minus 1 you have to treat it as constant sometime, and dou by dou N of nkt as well you have to evaluate here, because in these two terms actually containing the value of N, so you have to evaluate both and you have to do the product rule of differentiation here, so that if you do that nkt, okay, so when you evaluating this part you will be having N by V lambda q, okay, into lambda q by V will be there, and plus we'll have ln N by V lambda q minus 1 we treat it as a constant here, so into dou nkt by dou N, that is we'll have kt corresponding to that. And now if you proceed with this, here lambda cube and lambda q get cancelled, and V also get cancelled. Okay, so what it remains is that here N and N also get cancelled here. So in this part we will be only having kt, and the other part we will be having ln N by V lambda q minus 1 into kt. Okay, so I can take kt, I can write it as kt plus kt into ln N by V lambda q minus kt. Okay, this if you just multiply kt into the in okay, so okay, there is a small notation. Okay, sorry, here there is a bracket has been misrepresented here. Okay, so this is corresponding to this, right? Okay, and similarly here also, so here I have to put a bracket, so then only it will be clear. Okay, now if I do so, this is corresponding to this one, and we'll have the representation will be like this. Okay, so then kt and kt get cancelled here, then mu will be equal to what we will be getting, mu will be equal to ln N by V lambda q, so better I will run kt ln, so this I keep it as a bracket. Okay, mu equal to kt ln N by V lambda cube. So this is a representation corresponding to our mu value. Okay, now that is the chemical potential we identified here, and now we'll move on to the case of entropy here. Okay, so entropy, so that is S is equal to minus dou A by dou T at a constant volume and number of particle, and we know that A equal to what? A equal to nkt ln n by v lambda q minus 1. Okay, okay, so that is lambda cube, which I can represent it as h square by 2 pi mkt raised to 3 by 2. Okay, so this is our lambda cube. So this I just keep it a representation here. So S is equal to minus dou A by dou T. So that is equal to minus nkt dou by dou T ln n by v lambda cube minus 1. Okay, plus, so here will be a plus as well, plus ln n by v lambda cube minus 1. Okay, into nk will be there. Okay, now if I just evaluate simply what is dou by dou T of ln n by v lambda cube minus 1 is. Okay, so what I will be getting is that is dou by dou T of ln n by v lambda cube, because when you take dou by dou T of 1, that will be equal to 0. So then you do that, you will be getting which is equal to 1 by n by v lambda cube into n by v, okay, h square by 2 pi mk. T I take it outside, so that is into 1 by t cube will be there. Okay, so this is how I can represent the equation. So whenever you take a dou by dou T here, okay, it's actually dou by dou T of this one will be there. Okay, so dou by dou T of n by v h square 2 pi mkt 3 by 2 will be there, or t raised to 3 will be there. Okay, there is one more 3 by 2 will be there. Okay, 1 by 2. Okay, so here, so let me do represent here. So this I can write it like this: v by n lambda cube into n by v h square 2 pi mk raised to 3 by 2. Okay, so if I do dou by dou T of 1 by t raised to 3 by 2, so that is equal to, I'll be getting dou by dou T of t raised to minus 3 by 2, so that is equal to, I'll be getting minus 3 by 2 t raised to minus 1 by 2. Okay, so that is minus 3 by 2 1 by t raised to 1 by 2. So here I can represent dou by dou T of t raised to dou by dou T of 1 by t raised to 3 by 2, so which I can substitute as minus 3 by 2 into 1 by t raised to 1 by 2. Okay, 1 by t raised to 1 by 2. Okay, so this I can either represent in this fashion, so that is equal to v by this 2 get cancelled, so what it remains is that only 1 by lambda cube. So 1 by lambda cube h square 2 pi mk raised to 3 by 2, because this v and vn get cancelled and then nn get cancelled. So what it remains is that minus 3 by 2. So this is divided by 1 by t raised to 1 by 2. So now if I multiply and divided by t by t here, okay, so what I will be getting is that I will have a notation. This is equal to 1 by lambda cube. So in the denominator I can represent t raised to 3 by 2 will be coming. So h square 2 pi mk raised to 3 by 2. Okay, so minus 3 by 2 into t by denominator, it will be t raised to 3 by 2. Okay, so if that's the condition, I can take the t raised to 3 by 2 inside this bracket. So that is 1 by lambda cube into h square by 2 pi mkt raised to 3 by 2 into minus 3 by 2 into t will be there. Okay, clear? So this is how the representation will be. Okay, let me here it will be t raised to 3 by 2 into t lambda. Okay, so what will be finally, we know that this representation is actually lambda cube. Okay, so that is 1 by lambda cube into lambda cube raised to minus 3 by 2 t will be there. Okay, so what you will be having, what you will be supposed to having, you will be having minus 3 by 2 t will be the corresponding value you will be obtaining here. Okay, now if you do so, if you substituting this representation there, okay, let me have a clarity here. I have a small doubt. Okay, so there is a small correction here, because when I have done this representation, I think this will be dou by t raised to, this will be I think 5 by 2, right? Not 1 by 2. So 5 by 2, this will be denominator, it will come t raised to 5 by 2. So I'll have it change here. So it is t raised to 5 by 2 into t will come. So that you will be having the notation t by t raised to 5 by 2. That is, this will be have a correction. Okay. So that is a correction you note down here. Okay, and here as well. So this will be minus 3 by 2 into 5 by 2, not 1 by 2, it is 5 by 2 will be there. And if you do so, so there will be a correction as well. So so instead of this one, so it will be, we'll be having 1 by t raised to 3 by 2 into t. Okay, so what you're gonna get is that the t will be on the denominator side. T will be in the denominator, and here also this is not minus into t 3 by 2 t, and this entire equation becomes, so the corresponding solution for entropy will be minus 3 by, sorry, entropy not, tau by dot t of that representation, that is minus 3 by 2 t. Okay, so this is how it will come. Okay, so the entire correction is came from here itself. because when you do the dou by dou t of this representation, so it is actually so this entire part, let me just make it clear so that it will be okay. So dou by dou t of 1 by t raised to 3 by 2, so that is equal to dou by dou t of t raised to minus 3 by 2. Okay, so when you do that, what you will be getting, minus 3 by 2 into t raised to minus 5 by 2, so that is equal to minus 3 by 2 into 1 by t raised to 5 by 2. Okay, so this is our dou by dou t of 1 by t raised to 3 by 2. Okay, so in that way you have to do a correction in all cases as well. So this will be our 1 by t raised to 5 by 2. Okay, so this t raised to 3 by 2, if I need to write as 1 t by 3 raised to 2 into like this, so you have to multiply and divide by t, then it will be t raised to 3 by 2 into t will be this, how it will come. Okay, so that was a correction I have made, so you just note down that. Okay, so what we will be getting is that, so the corresponding solution will be equal to minus 3 by 2 t, minus 3 by 2 divided by t will be there. Now let me come back to the entropy case earlier. Okay, so the entropy situation, what we are discussing is that, so we introduce, so what we have done basically is that, so this is our entropy equation, so we try to find it out what is dou by dou t of this value. Okay, so what is dou by dou t of this was we are trying to identify, so that we are gonna get it minus 3 by 2 t. Now we'll come back to the exact representation, so where we'll have s is equal to minus nkt into, so dou by dou t of ln n by v lambda q minus 1, that is minus 3 by 2 into 1 by t, plus we'll have ln n by v lambda q minus 1 into nk will be there. Okay, so that is equal to, we'll have 3 by 2 nk, because t and t get cancelled. Okay, so minus, if you take it down, then it will be plus, and minus ln n by v lambda cube minus 1 okay into nk. Okay, so that is, if I do that, 3 by 2 nk minus 3 by 2 nk minus nk ln n by v lambda cube plus nk, so that is equal to, so this is equal to, we'll get as 5 by 2 nk minus nk ln n by v lambda cube. Okay, so 3 by 2 nk plus nk, so that if you do that, you will be getting 5 by 2 nk minus nk ln n by v lambda cube. So this is the entropy representation what we have got here. And now if you proceed with this one, so if I take nk outside, so I will be getting ln n by v lambda cube plus 5 by 2. Okay, so this part will be here minus nk2. Okay, so if I just rearrange this one, what I have done here is that I just rearrange. Earlier it was n by v lambda cube representation. Okay, so this I can either represent like 5 by 2 n kb lambda cube. So if I take the lambda cube in the denominator, so that it will be v by n. Okay, so v by n lambda cube will be there. So let me just do represent that. So okay, so there was small correction here. So that is, so this I can represent it as v by n lambda cube, so that this minus will be okay. Okay, so this I can write it as 5 by 2 nk plus nk ln v by n lambda cube. Okay, so then I take nk outside, so you'll be getting like in this fashion. So this is our corresponding entropy notation. So once you get entropy notation, it is very easy to identify the internal energy corresponding to that. Okay, so we got an entropy representation. S is equal to nk ln v by n lambda cube plus 5 by 2. Okay, now it's about internal energy. For internal energy, we have from Helmholtz energy representation, we have A equal to what? A equal to U minus Ts. Okay, where U is the internal energy, S is the entropy, T is the temperature, A is Helmholtz energy, and U the internal energy I can represent as A plus Ts. Okay, now already we know what is our Helmholtz energy, so it has a representation nkt ln n lambda q by v minus 1. Okay, so this is our Helmholtz energy representation. Okay, plus we have nk, already we identify entropy representation here, so into T, so nk T into ln v by n lambda cube plus 5 by 2. That is our entropy representation. Nk ln v by n lambda cube plus 5 by 2 is our entropy representation. From that, now if you solve it out, this one, so this is nkt ln ln n lambda cube by v, okay, minus nkt. So what I have done, I just multiply nkt into the bracket, so that is nkt plus nkt ln v by n lambda cube, okay, plus 5 by 2 nkt will be there. Okay, and further if you represent this one, these two logarithmic representation I can keep it together, so that is ln kt into ln n lambda q by v plus ln v by n lambda cube, okay, plus this nkt and 5 by 2 nkt, if you put together you will be getting 3 by 2 nkt. Okay, so that is you will be getting nkt into ln n lambda cube divided by v. Okay, because if you two together, this is ln n lambda cube v plus ln v by n lambda cube. If it is a summation of two logarithmic, I can just represent as a product of that one, that is v by n lambda cube, okay, plus 3 by 2 kt. And here v and v get cancelled and lambda also will get cancelled, where we'll be having ln 1 will be the corresponding representation. So we'll have ln will what will be having ln1 will be equal to 0, right? Logarithmic of 1 will be equal to 0, then what it remains is that u will be equal to 3 by 2 nkt. So that is the internal energy corresponding to this. Okay, so this is because n lambda cube and v n lambda cube by v and v n lambda cube will get cancelled, then we'll have remaining one will be there, ln1 will be, we know that is equal to 0. Okay, so this part of the term will go 0 and we'll have the remaining will be u equal to 3 by 2 kt. So okay, so that's why we got u equal to 3 by 2 kt. Now the next parameter we'll be trying to identify, that is about specific heat. Okay, specific heat. So that is Cv equal to dou U by dou T at a constant volume. That is specific heat at constant volume, that is we are trying to identify. So that is equal to, if you substitute that, dou by dou T of 3 by 2 nkt. So that is you will be getting Cv equal to, you will be getting 3 by 2 nk. Okay, where k is the Boltzmann constant. I repeat, it's Boltzmann constant. So it is specific heat capacity at constant volume. Now if I want to identify the specific heat capacity at constant pressure, so that is equal to Cp. Okay, Cp equal to, okay, Cp equal to, we know that we have a representation, that is dou H by dou T. Okay, at a constant pressure, where H is the enthalpy notation, that is dou by dou T of U plus PV you need to do. That is you have to do dou U by dou T plus dou by dou T of PV you need to do. Okay, and we know that P equal to what? P equal to, already we got the representation corresponding to pressure. So that is P equal to what? P equal to nkt by V already identified. So that is we can represent PV equal to what? Nkt. Okay, so when you substitute that in the equation, so what we will be supposed to get is that, let me just do that. So if you do that, we'll be getting, you can already substitute, you already know what is u is. U is dou by dou T of 3 by 2 nkt plus dou by dou T of PV means that is nkt. Okay, that is you will be getting what? You will be getting 3 by 2 nk plus nk. Okay, so like you will be gonna get here. So that is, we know that Cp equal to what? Cp will be equal to, that is specific heat capacity at constant pressure will be equal to 5 by 2 nk. Okay, now if you want to know for adiabatic process, the gamma equal to Cp by Cv if you take, so it is a ratio of the two specific heat capacity volume. For then we can identify that is equal to what? 5 by 2 nk divided by 3 by 2 nk, that is equal to, we'll be getting 5 by 3. So this is for adiabatic process, the constant, the ratio of the constant specific heat capacity at constant pressure and volume will be equal to 5 by 3. So okay, so what all we already identified is that when you just list all the representation corresponding to an ideal gas. Okay, so for an ideal gas, okay, by explaining using a canonical ensemble theory. Okay, so we, if you list out all the parameters, that is first we have identified the partition function corresponding to that. Okay, then we identified the Helmholtz energy. From the Helmholtz energy we try to identify the pressure, and we identified the chemical potential, entropy. From the entropy notation we identify the internal energy. From the internal energy we try to identify the specific heat capacity, constant volume and pressure, and we identified all the corresponding representation, all the thermodynamic relation to a classical ideal gas situation. Okay, so let me just list out all the classical ideal gas parameters here. So first of all, what we will be having is that A equal to what? A equal to, so okay, before that Qn of Vt. Qn of Vt is equal to, so if you try to go above, so we'll get Q equal to what? Q equal to, we have 1 by n factorial V by h cube 2 pi m kt 3 by 2. Then we have minus kt ln qn v of t. Okay. So let me just write all those things here so that we can conclude this session here. So that is Qn of Vt is equal to what? That is equal to 1 by n factorial V by h cube 2 pi m kt raised to 3 by 2 raised to n. Okay. So this was our initial case of partition function, what we have observed for a case of classical ideal gas. Then we identified the corresponding representation corresponding to Helmholtz energy in terms of mean thermal wavelength, that is nkt ln n by v lambda cube minus 1. Okay, if I do notate that, okay, so that is A equal to nkt ln n by v lambda cube minus 1. Okay, so this bracket is will be here. Okay, raised to what? Any notation was there? So it was Villa lambda cube minus 1. So that is our A corresponding to that. Okay, so we got the representation corresponding to it. Where lambda, we know that lambda equal to what? Lambda equal to h square by 2 pi m kt. Right. So this was our lambda corresponding to that case. So if you want, that is the mean thermal wavelength corresponding to that. Okay, so that what we have identified there. So lambda equal to, we are 2 pi m kt raised to 1 by 2. Okay, okay, raised to 1 by 2. And now then we identify the pressure representation, it is equal to nkt by v. Okay, then the chemical potential we identified. Okay, so that is what is chemical potential we got? Chemical potential is equal to mu equal to what we got? Mu equal to kt ln n by v lambda cube. kt ln n by v lambda cube. kt ln n by v lambda cube. Okay, so this was our chemical potential. Then we identify the entropy. So what was our entropy? So entropy value is S is equal to nk ln v by n lambda cube. nk ln v by nk v by n lambda, sorry, ln v by n lambda cube plus 5 by 2. Okay, so this was the representation for the entropy notation we got. And the internal energy is what? Internal energy we obtained is U equal to 3 by 2 nkt. Then constant specific capacity to constant volume, that is 3 by 2 nk, and specific heat capacity is constant pressure 3 by 2, oh, sorry, 5 by 2. Okay, that is equal to 5 by 2 nk, and gamma, that is equal to Cp by Cv, that is equal to, we identified as 5 by 3 for a classical ideal gas. Okay, now if you look into the entire case, so by ensemble theory, canonical ensemble theory, all the parameters what we got here is that exactly that we are getting for an ideal gas situation that we discussed in the case of a microcanonical ensemble theory, using microcanonical ensemble theory as well. And here in this equation, this entropy equation, if you substitute lambda equal to h square by 2 pi mkt, okay, raised to 1 by 2, if you substitute, okay, this is all raised to 1 by 2 la, okay, raised to 1 by 2, if you substitute, then you will be actually gonna get is what you will be getting, the Thackeray-Tetrode equation. Hope you remember that is an entropy by introducing, by overcoming the Gibbs paradox situation, we introduced n factorial, and finally we got an entropy equation in terms in a way that is of Thackeray-Tetrode equation. Okay, so here also if you substitute lambda equal to h square by 2 pi mkt raised to 1 by 2, you will be gonna get a again that Thackeray-Tetrode equation as well. Okay, so that means the all the representation, all the values corresponding to different thermodynamic parameters what we obtain, it is same as we obtain in the case of microcanonical ensemble theory in the earlier case. Okay, so it is the same way we are getting all the representation or the internal energy representation or the thermodynamic parameters we are getting in the same fashion that we obtain in the earlier situation as well. Okay, so we are getting the actual case of, we especially if you look into the internal energy, so we know that it is 3 by 2 nkt for a ideal gas. So the specific heat capacity, also if you look into that, you will be getting exactly what we are expected for a classical ideal gas situation. So in that way I could say that the whole idea of classical ideal gas can be explained by canonical ensemble theory as well. Okay, so in the next class we will be discussing about harmonic oscillator as an example, and by that taking an example we will be understanding or we will be explaining canonical ensemble theory by treating harmonic oscillator as an example in the next class. Okay, so with this today's session I will be winding up here. Thank you for listening.